The bidirectional relationship between sleep quality and sugar consumption creates a self-amplifying cycle with profound implications for cognitive health. Insufficient sleep drives increased sugar cravings through hormonal mechanisms, while high sugar intake disrupts sleep quality, establishing a feedback loop accelerating metabolic dysfunction and cognitive decline. Laboratory sleep restriction studies reveal rapid hormonal changes promoting sugar-seeking behavior. Just a few nights of reduced sleep elevate ghrelin, the hormone stimulating appetite, while suppressing leptin, which signals satiety. This hormonal imbalance particularly increases desire for rapidly absorbed carbohydrates and sweet foods. Brain imaging during sleep deprivation shows heightened activation in reward regions when viewing high-calorie foods, suggesting neurobiological drives toward sugar beyond mere hunger. Real-world cohort studies confirm these laboratory findings. Adults sleeping fewer than 6 hours nightly consume approximately 200 to 300 more calories daily compared to adequate sleepers, with sugar-sweetened beverages and snacks comprising disproportionate shares of excess intake. The relationship shows dose-response patterns. Shorter sleep correlates with higher sugar consumption across the sleep duration spectrum. The cognitive implications operate through multiple pathways. Sleep deprivation independently impairs attention, working memory, and executive function, affects compounding sugar's direct cognitive impacts. When combined, inadequate sleep and high sugar intake produce cognitive decrements exceeding either factor alone, suggesting synergistic harm. Metabolic consequences prove substantial. Poor sleep reduces insulin sensitivity, while high sugar intake further impairs glucose regulation. Together, they accelerate progression toward type 2 diabetes, itself a major cognitive risk factor. Longitudinal studies show that individuals with combined poor sleep and high sugar consumption face substantially elevated dementia risk compared to those with either factor alone. The mechanistic connections involve stress hormone dysregulation. Sleep deprivation elevates cortisol, which increases glucose production and insulin resistance. High sugar intake further dysregulates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, governing stress responses. This hormonal disruption affects hippocampal function, the brain region essential for memory and particularly vulnerable to stress and metabolic dysfunction. Intervention potential exists by targeting either component. Studies testing sleep extension interventions demonstrate reduced sugar cravings and consumption without dietary counseling. Participants instructed to increase sleep by 1 hour showed decreased intake of added sugars by approximately 10 grams daily, suggesting sleep improvement alone enables better dietary choices through hormonal normalization. Conversely, sugar reduction interventions improve sleep quality. Individuals decreasing sugary drink consumption report fewer nighttime awakenings and improved sleep continuity, likely through reduced blood glucose fluctuations overnight. The implications favor addressing both factors simultaneously. Comprehensive interventions combining sleep hygiene education with dietary guidance produce superior outcomes compared to either alone. Setting consistent sleep schedules, creating conducive sleep environments, and limiting evening sugar intake collectively break the reinforcing cycle. Special populations face amplified vulnerabilities. Shift workers and individuals with chronic sleep disorders show particularly strong cravings and metabolic dysfunction. Parents of young children experiencing prolonged sleep disruption often develop problematic sugar consumption patterns as coping mechanisms. These groups require targeted support recognizing their structural sleep barriers. Public health messaging increasingly emphasizes sleep as fundamental to healthy eating rather than treating them as separate domains. People often view diet as a matter of willpower, not recognizing how sleep deprivation undermines self-regulation biologically. Framing adequate sleep as a dietary intervention potentially reduces stigma and self-blame while enabling more effective behavior change. Cultural factors complicate intervention. Modern society often valorizes sleep sacrifice for productivity, while abundant sugar availability enables easy gratification of fatigue-driven cravings. Shifting these patterns requires cultural change beyond individual efforts. The research converges on a clear conclusion: sleep and sugar intake form an interconnected system where each influences the other bidirectionally. Breaking the cycle requires simultaneous attention to both factors, recognizing that improving sleep enables better dietary choices, while dietary improvement facilitates better sleep. For cognitive health specifically, the synergistic harm from combined sleep deprivation and high sugar intake makes this relationship particularly important. Interventions prioritizing both sleep quality and sugar reduction potentially yield benefits exceeding their individual effects, offering an integrated approach to preserving cognitive function across the lifespan.